So greetings and welcome to the studio of Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman. My name is Peter Updike, and tonight we're going to visit and chit-chat a little bit. It's New Year's Eve. I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. I hope you all had a good Christmas holiday, and I know I did, and really been blessed, and I hope you were too. So, just coming off of a hunt. I went on a hunt day before yesterday, and it was an experience that I really enjoyed and wanted to share it with you. It was really a simple thing, but impacts the way I feel about the outdoors and my approach, and the way I come away from a hunt. And I just thought I'd take a moment and just share it with you. I saw on the weather report that there was storms were coming in and was going to be stormy in the morning. And I always take note of the weather and want to know what I'm getting myself into, but I hardly ever let a bad weather report alter my plans. In other words, if I know the weatherman says it's going to be raining by 8 o'clock and thunderstorms and it's daylight at 7, well, I'm going to go ahead and take a chance, and I'm going to make my way to my hunting area and get in my tree stand. And if I only get an hour, I only get an hour. If I sit in drizzling rain for an hour of no rain and then sit in drizzling rain for another hour, that's 2 hours. And if it clears up after the drizzling rain, well, then I've got the whole afternoon. You never know. Really, you never really know how, a hunt's going to unfold when it comes to Florida weather. And it was a front coming in, and it was not looking good. And I had a guest going to be accompanying me, and I know that he was excited to be going on this hunt with me, and I was excited to have him come along, and I was wanting to share my spot and some information that would help him. And it was a good time, but he was bright and early at my house at 6 o'clock, so there was no getting out of it. And he made the effort to get here, so I made the effort to make the hunt happen. And we drove all the way up to the Ocala National Forest, and again, it was supposed to be raining by 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it was pretty clear when we got up there. There was clouds in the sky, but there was no rain, and it was a pretty dark, gloomy morning. But we made our way to our stands, and I was set up probably 300 yards further down than he was, and I've set him up in a tree that I had been sitting in and showed him where the deer have been coming in and out of a thicket and moving through the timber. And he saw some deer, and I had some deer come in that I didn't see. But the point is, it did not rain for at least 5.5, 6 hours. It did not rain on us, and we had a really good hunt. But towards the end, when I was getting ready to considering calling it a day, I could see the darkness of the clouds to the north. And here it was coming. Then you could hear a little thunder banging around in the background. So I thought, maybe it's time to start getting down. I had 6 hours, 5.5, 6 hours invested in the hunt. It was a good hunt, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and cash in my chips and get out while the getting's good. So I started down the tree, and man, I'm gonna tell you what, those clouds were on top of me and my hunting companion pretty quick. And by the time I got through wrapping up my climbing stand and hooking it to my backpack, I was starting to head on out of there, and a squall line came through the area. And man, it gave me a moment for pause. Not that I was actually fearful, but you want to stay safe. You don't want to do anything stupid. But the wind in that spot just really started to whip. And with the Ocala National Forest, as you know, you've got tall, skinny pine trees, and all of them leaning in all these different directions. And when the wind catches them, they really whip and move in such a way that's kind of spooky. It had gotten really dark, and the wind was really, really whipping, and you could hear the limbs breaking. and the wind blowing through the tops of the trees. And it reminded me of another hunt that I was on in Wyoming when I had gotten caught up in a whiteout. And same scenario, you really want to take in the moment. I really appreciated the atmosphere of being in the woods at a time when the weather was not ideal. And I actually slowed down a bit, started taking my time, easing my way out of that timber and getting back to my hunting buddy and making sure that he was getting wrapped up as well. But it started to rain, and the water as it fell from the sky was cold, and the wind was blowing, and the trees were swaying, and there's a distant thunder. We didn't get any thunder and lightning, but you could hear it in the background. And yeah, it was time for us to roll on, but I really wanted to take advantage of that moment and enjoy it, because it's a special moment when you get caught up in a hunt where the weather isn't so good, or it was just, I guess words really can't capture the way I felt when we were walking out of there. And yeah, I kind of didn't want to leave. I kind of wanted, but you had to. You know, I didn't know how bad things were going to get. And on the drive home, we went through some pretty heavy rain, but it was, again, there's moments when it wasn't raining at all. And it was a sparse atmosphere, and of course, what I went through and what my hunting buddy went through, just for those few moments when the wind was really, when the storm clouds came in, man, the wind was really blowing, and it created an atmosphere that was kind of cool. My only regret is that I didn't get it caught on camera. I would have really liked to have just those few minutes when the wind was really blowing hard, and the trees were swaying, and you could hear the limbs on the trees falling, and stuff was falling on the ground, and yeah, it was just cool. So I got all my stuff laid out here on the floor. I'll show it to you because everything got all wet, and I needed to take the time to get everything all dried out, and my rifle got all wet, so I had to clean up my rifle and get it oiled up and run the brush through the bore and make sure everything was clear, and clean off my scope. Everything gets wet and you get all those water stains on your scope. You need to clean that thing off with some good glass cleaner and get that thing sharp. So when you get ready to use it, yeah, it's ready to go. But yeah, we had a good hunt, and I've been hunting that same spot. Now I'm hunting an area that is not really being ignored by other hunters, because right across from where I am is the dog hunt area, and I'm hunting an area that is dominated by scrub oak, and there is a patch of scrub oak that's probably 150, 200 acres big, and the deer are bedded inside that scrub oak, and they just don't come out. You're really hoping that the buck comes out chasing a doe or following a doe. He saw a couple of does. I heard a few walking in behind me, but never laid eyes on them. And quite frankly, we think the dog hunters probably busted up those does and got them up on their feet and moving. That's why we saw them. But yeah, things are winding down. I'm gonna got one more hunt in the Ocala National Forest, and going to give it a try on Saturday. And hunting down at the Green Swamp, I'm having a good time hunting down in the Green Swamp, and enjoying my time there as well. And of course, all my efforts will be focused down there once it closes in Ocala. So that's where I am, and that's what I'm doing. I want to remind you guys that in February 1st is going to be the Wild Turkey Extravaganza at the True Heart Ranch in Sumter County in Webster, Florida. And yeah, we're going to be there. I'll have a table set up. I have copies of my book, Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman, available to you if you'd like to buy a copy. I'll be selling them there for $10 each. But more than that, I want to be able just to let's visit and get caught up, talk about our hunting season, bring me some pictures of your deer, and I would love chit chat with you and just visit and just, yeah, let's talk about turkey hunting. If you've never turkey hunted, the Turkey Extravaganza is a great place to go to, to learn turkey calling and the process. And it costs nothing to go, and it costs nothing to park the car. There's no hidden fees or anything. You just show up, come in, and there's booths, and there's all kinds of vendors there, and there's food and drinks. And again, I'll be there. Usually they put me right at the front door, and I'm on the left as you come in the front door. Kind of work a little bit as a greeter, and enjoy doing that. So come on by again. That's February 1st. That's a Saturday at the True Heart Ranch in Sumter County, Florida. Just look it up on your smartphone, True Heart Ranch. It'll come up, and the address and everything is on there. And we go from like 8 o'clock to about 2 o'clock. And it's a fun time, so y'all come on by. All right, love you guys. This is the Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman YouTube channel, and my name is Peter Updike. And yeah, I'm counting down the days when we won't be hunting no more, and I'm getting a little happy, but I'm getting a little sad. Man, I'm getting really tired of hunting, but yeah, I got a few more hunts in me. All right, love you guys. Talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Oh, man. God. Really? Damn it.